What's up, souls? This is WildBlueYonder. Today I want to talk to you guys about how to talk to a recruiter. Now, let's just be honest. I'm just going to be straightforward with you guys. A lot of recruiters just don't give a crap about you. There's going to be some recruiters who are going to lie to you. There's going to be some recruiters who just don't care. There's going to be some recruiters who they just want people to get into the Air Force. There's going to be some recruiters out there where they don't care about you. They don't care about what job you're going to get. They don't care about your benefits. They just want to get people in the Air Force. They want a yes man who's going to sit in their chair, say yes, take whatever job they give them, and then get into the Air Force. On the other hand, of course, there are recruiters out there who care a lot about their recruits. They want you to be successful. They're going to set you up to be as successful as possible. There's some recruiters out there who will go out of their way to make sure that they give you the correct job and make sure that they give you the right job that you want. But either way, you're still going to have to learn how to talk to a recruiter. Number one, you want to treat your recruiter like a future boss. You're going to this recruiter as a job applicant. This is a job interview. They're going to do background searches. They're going to ask you about your personal history. Have you smoked drugs? Have you drank? Do you have any problems with your money? They want to find out, are you a good person to be putting in the Air Force? So anytime you go to your recruiter, you need to speak respectfully, make sure that they know what you want from the Air Force, make sure that you're communicating with them. And most importantly, make sure that they know that you want to get in. You may not want just any old job, you may not just want to be tossed around like an old rag dog, but you want to make sure that they know that you want to still be in the Air Force. That you are willing to make some personal sacrifices, that you're willing to be a little bit flexible. This is going to make your recruiter like you a lot more, because you also kind of want your recruiter to like you a little bit. You're not there to kiss ass and you're not there to like be friends with them, but you want them to be like comfortable around you, make sure that they kind of want to help you. So the first time you go to a recruiter, you want to dress appropriately. Now you don't have to wear a suit and tie like I wore last week, but you need to come just dressed like a normal person. Don't wear anything that's too exposing. Don't have any like a bunch of facial rings and stuff on your face. Don't have a bunch of earrings on. If you have like crazy dyed hair, like try to tame it down a little bit. Try to look like a normal person. If you sit down in front of a recruiter and you look a little crazy, you have all the freedom in the world to express yourself. But it's not like I have a problem or like anything against people with tattoos or like earrings or anything, because I plan on getting tattoos myself. But when you show your recruiter that side of you, that might show to them like maybe you're not a military person. So that's step one. Be respectful, look normal, just be respectful, treat it like a job interview. Step two, what to bring. Now, your first time you may not need this, but I would suggest bringing your social security card, your birth certificate, and a driver's license. Your recruiter may actually put this information like the next time you come, but if you have it now, you can just get it done then. If you don't need it, then so what? You'd rather have it and not need it than need it and not have it. Another thing that you want to bring with you is your parents. If you're underage, if you're under 18 years old, then you want to bring your parents, because you won't be able to actually talk to a recruiter without them. So what they're going to do is they're going to have you fill out this form, and basically it's like parental agreement form. Then your parents will basically say, hey, it's okay for you to be talking to a recruiter. Once your parents sign off on it, then they don't have to be present anymore. If you only have one parent or you have just a designated guardian, then they're okay too. Number three, you want to prepare some questions and some notes for your recruiter before you go there. You want to make sure that you have a good set of things to talk about when you go. That way you can say, hey, what's it like in the Air Force? What's it like to get my education? I want to get my education. Do you know anything about that? This is your recruiter's job. This is what they do on a daily basis. They're supposed to inform you and like try to advertise the Air Force to you. So kind of let them do a little bit of work. Try to let them do a little bit of advertisement to you. After your first time at the recruiter, you want to make sure that you're keeping in contact with them. If they gave you any homework, if they said, hey, make sure you go home, do this, I'll see you next week, make sure you get that done, make sure you're early. Really, make sure you're early. Like, make sure you're like 30 minutes early. Like, you're sitting out in the lobby, like just waiting, like, hey, how you doing? Hey, I'm here. Hey, Aaron Simmons, how you doing? Like, you want to make sure that they know, like, this guy is serious, this guy wants to be in. If you show up 5 minutes late, 10 minutes late, hey, what's up? That's not good at all. That's like the worst thing you can do. If you're still trying to make that initial contact with your recruiter and they're not emailing you back, try stepping into their office. You're not really supposed to. You won't probably be able to actually talk to them, but just let them know that you exist. Like, hey, my name is Matthew Simmons. I'd like to join the Air Force. It's hard to just turn away a person. It's easy to delete a voicemail. It's easy to ignore your email, because a lot of recruiters are very busy and they don't have time to check everything. Or they just don't really care about the job and they're not going to really check their emails that often. You have to keep in mind that the Air Force doesn't really go out to get people. You almost never see recruiters like out in the wild. You always see Marines and you see Army people every freaking where, but you never see Air Force people. One thing that you guys have to keep in mind is that the Air Force is very elite. Like, we don't ever go out to reach out to people to get them to join. We always kind of like sit back and people come to us. That's kind of how it works, because we know that we are very competitive and that people are going to try to fight to get into those spots. If ever in high school you saw the Marine recruiters and you saw the Army, maybe the Navy, they would come out to your high school. They would stand out in front of your class and say, hey, would you guys like to join the Army, the Marines, whatever? We're great. We fight battles, all this other cool stuff. Then they hand out like a bunch of bracelets and like necklaces and stuff like that, lanyards and all this cool gear, t-shirts, hats. And people are like, oh man, this is cool, I want to join. But you never see the Air Force. Think of it this way, how often do you ever see a Toyota commercial, a Honda commercial, a Ford, Chevrolet? You see those all the time. How often do you ever see a Bugatti commercial, a Lamborghini commercial? The reason why you don't see those is because it's elite. You don't have to put out commercials for that because people already know that exists, and the rich people and the successful people will go out and already get those. And so that's kind of how it is. If you're smart and competitive and you know that you aren't really like on par with the Marines, like you know you can do a little better than that and you want a better quality of life, then you will seek after the Air Force. That's kind of how it works. And recruiters know this, and they know that they don't have to go out and they can just sit in their office and pretty much people will just come to them. And so that's kind of what you have to do. Sometimes you just got to step into their office and say, hey, my name is Matthew Simmons. I sent you a couple emails. I made a few phone calls. You haven't reached me back yet. It's been a couple weeks. I just want to let you know that I'm really serious about this job opportunity and I would really like to join the Air Force. That takes them aback. They're like, okay, cool. We'll set you up for another appointment. We'll see you next Monday at 10 o'clock. And then you got yourself an appointment. After that, now you're going to MEPS. After MEPS, you're going to DEP. And after DEP, you're going to get a ship date. Now you're in the Air Force. Guess what? That's what you have to do. It all started with you stepping into the office. And that's pretty much what I had to do. I had to like make myself known. I was like, hold up now. You guys aren't going to be ignoring any of my phone calls, any of my emails. I'm stepping in. I'm going to, even if I don't get an appointment that day, that's cool. If you feel like I may have intruded on your schedule, but I'm going to make myself known at least. Like, I'm not going to be rude. Don't step up in their office and be like, hey, what's up, man? I want to go to all this other stuff. You just want to be like, hey, knock, knock. How you doing, Sergeant? My name is so-and-so. I just sent you a few emails, but you haven't gotten back to me yet. I just want to make sure that you are aware that I'm trying to join the Air Force. So that's pretty much all you have to do. Make sure you're respectful, make sure you dress nice, make sure you present yourself accordingly, that you know that you're presenting yourself as, hey, I'm here for a job interview. Like, you're not here to just talk to some guy in a uniform. You're here to talk to your potential boss someday. That's how you have to treat it. If there's recruiters out there who are being butts and they're not responding to you, and even though you went to the office respectfully and they're still not really getting back to you, or they're just disrespectful to you, or at any point during the process they are starting to become butts, you have to try to just deal with it, because they are the people you have to go through to get into the Air Force, and there's no other way. Either you go through them or you try to find another recruiter. I would just say there's some times where I really thought about joining the Navy. I thought about quitting and just going somewhere else across the hallway to the other recruiter. There's some times where you're going to have to just persevere, just push through it, and one day you'll get through to the other side. It can be difficult, it can be irritating, it can be aggravating, but you have to go. Be respectful, always be respectful. Never get disrespectful, because that's just going to make things worse. I know it's easier said than done, whatever. But that's how it is done. But anyways, guys, that's pretty much how you talk to a recruiter. If you have any more questions, leave them down in the comment box below. If you have any messages that you want to talk to me privately about your recruiter or anything like that, you can message me on my channel. Just go to my channel, click on About, and then click on Send Message. Anyways, thank you guys for watching this video. I hope it is very helpful for all you guys who are going through the DEP and through MEPS and all that. The same thing applies for MEPS. Like, when you go to MEPS, you got to treat it like a job interview. There's going to be like 20 people you got to go through. There's going to be all types of interviews. You got to be taking shots and pissing in cups and be getting naked for people. Well, not naked, but you're going to be in your underwear. Anyways, but thank you guys for watching. Make sure you guys like and comment on this video. See you guys next time. Peace.